folks doing? Thanks for having me. It's a great opportunity to be here. As Joyce said, my name is Max Neubauer. I'm from the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy. I've been there for about 6 years. Grew up in DC, went to college in Minnesota, and grad school at Georgia State University. So, little experience in the South. AEC has been involved in the South a lot more in recent years. Just a little bit about our organization. We're a 50 staff outfit in Washington, D.C., focused on end-use energy efficiency. So that's energy efficiency in your homes, your HVAC system, or commercial buildings, industrial processes, manufacturing processes, agriculture. We really run the gamut at AEC because ultimately all these areas of our economy need some help in order to improve their business potential in the Southeast. And we're really excited about the opportunity here. There's lots of room for improvement, lots of room for economic development, and that's ultimately what I want to cover today. So just a little look at our agenda. I'm going to kind of start at the broad national level and just whittle my way down to the state. Talk about energy efficiency generally, talk about it as a resource in the South, and then what is it from a regulatory perspective, mostly is what I'm going to focus on. What do states need to do in order to succeed with energy efficiency? Path for environmental compliance. Ken Smith is going to be talking a little bit about some federal regulations coming down the pike and the Opportunity for Energy Efficiency Act as a compliance mechanism. And it's also a risk mitigator of energy that you're using. Energy efficiency certainly can't provide 100% of our power, but this is, in the interim, this is a least cost resource to meeting a lot of our energy demand. Here's a little chart that just shows sort of the relation of different sources in terms of their risk, increasing risk to the right and the cost up to the left, and you'll note, so around here? Oh yeah, energy efficiency. We decided to have it in Nashville, and we got record attendance with many, I'd say a large minority, if not a small majority of folks from the Southeast. So that was great. There's clearly a hunger for energy efficiency here. It's moving forward, and it's just kind of a matter of time before it really starts to develop at scale. Here's some ideas. Mississippi, as a result of the efforts they've made in the last year, recognizing the most improved in energy efficiency. That's still a little far below you folks, but they are approaching this very aggressively, and I'll talk a little bit about the steps they've been taking. But as you can see, there's still room for improvement. We'd love to get you all up here at some point. So where do states begin with energy efficiency? I'm just going to go through kind of the first half of this list. The final two, workforce development and financing. As much as I love to talk your ears off about this stuff, I only have a certain amount of time, so I won't cover that so much. But these are all things that are happening in Mississippi right now.
Wind components, windmill components to energy efficiency contractors, electric motors, and that's really been been a nice part of my job over the last few years. I wanted to start off with the idea of jobs real quick and just look at a real life example. We can do better than this, and so that he has really driven a process here in Mississippi that now, as Max said, has really moved, made great achievements in the last couple of years. Most states, as Max showed, have integrated resource planning, and then then we have to think about Alabama. Some recent examples of participatory proceedings that I have been involved in directly or indirectly have been Tennessee Valley's Authority's Integrated Resource Plan, which I think Maryland would agree is the model, probably the most consensus-driven IRP. Looking at, again, this is building off the chart that Max showed you earlier. If you look at just costs of energy, then obviously, and hopefully most of you know this information, but it's solar, large solar PV, coal, integrated gasification, combined cycle with carbon capture storage. That's what those acronyms stand for. Number 4 down, CCS is carbon capture and storage. Solar thermal with incentives, coal, nuclear, These are the high-cost forms of energy. And then looking down at the bottom, again, with energy efficiency, biomass co-firing, onshore wind, offshore wind, or onshore wind, natural gas combined cycle, geothermal. These are the more least costly energy sources. Looking at another chart here, now let's talk about risk. When we look at risk, the way Ron Benz and his team define risk, were those things that really put a utility at risk of if something goes wrong, a bankruptcy, or coming way over budget, which is often the case. And then, of course, the risk to ratepayers, all classes of ratepayers. So those energy sources with the highest risk are, of course, nuclear, pulverized coal, IGCC with carbon capture storage, nuclear with incentives, nuclear without incentives, and then looking down at the bottom, what are the least risk energy stations like the Southwest Power Pool or MISO, the Midwest Independent Systems Organization. They're having to demonstrate capacity, and energy efficiency will be a real important tool by utilities in order to show that they're able to meet the capacity needs of the regional agreements as well as their own needs within their operating territory. New energy financing tools, and this is a positive way of moving forward, I think, with energy policy in Alabama, is that we need to help our commercial, industrial, governmental, and residential customers to better achieve energy efficiency and renewable energy, and put in solar panels or geothermal heating and cooling systems. PACE legislation that a lot of states have, on-bill repayment financing, energy performance contracting. These are very, very important tools. So depending on what you have, Alabama, I would encourage you to move forward in trying to develop a